I did a video yesterday which looked at how we address the thought of getting fitter, but also including mobility. We often look at mobility in a very different light as we get older. We deny the fact that sometimes we struggle with our mobility, we struggle with our coordination, we struggle with the weight that we've put on and how much that affects our simple ability to get around and to be agile at times. And also that helps us prevent and stop us from having accidents. So why didn't I just post that video? Well, the simple reason is I didn't address the big elephant in the room. Yes, we have to think about fitness. Yes, we have to think about functional fitness as well, making sure that we stay mobile, making sure as we get older that we address flexibility as well as mobility. But it also didn't address the fact, quite simply, as we get older, sometimes our ego gets in the way of taking these actions. As our younger self, as a younger male, I would never have thought of doing yoga or Pilates, or I didn't have to do stretches. I was very flexible. And yet as I got older, the thought of doing that, the thought of going to those sort of classes filled me with dread of the fact of how will I look, what will it seem to others? And of course that stopped progress. It stopped me from regaining strength. It stopped me from regaining coordination. It stopped me from starting and embarking on that journey. And all too often our egos get in the way of living a healthier life when we're not prepared to make the sacrifices, we're not prepared to put our egos aside. So as a male, we have to sometimes realize one of the biggest things we have to address is our own egos. Comparing ourselves with our younger self is never going to make us fitter, is never going to make us stronger, is never going to make us agile. So if you want to reduce your blood pressure, if you want to become more flexible, if you want to hopefully counteract heart disease, then doing yoga, doing any of those functional fitness type things are going to be exceptionally good for us. And like anything in that fitness world, in that well-being and health world, you have to start simply with where you are. So if your fitness and your mobility is very low, then find a program that will fit that and let you get into that exercise on a 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, where you just gently start to get your mobility and get your confidence back. Instead of going for a high intensity from 0 to hero and then totally burning out, make sure that you're able to be in a repetitive, normalized state. All too often, we give ourselves a hard time. We hate ourselves for how we've let our health and our fitness and our mobility go. But if we don't prepare to take that first step and put our ego aside, then no amount of sitting on the couch thinking about doing stretches or thinking about our coordination will change anything. In fact, it'll deteriorate. So if you want to stay in that zero-sum game and also wait for the inevitable of a fall, an accident, where you will have severe loss of mobility and severe changes to your lifestyle, then be my guest. If you want to put your ego aside and be okay with having to look into a mirror when you're really not doing something very well. But if you're in an open environment, then you'll find ways of actually doing it and progressing. Remember, the mirror only looks at our external self. And if we get all our reinforcement from that external self, then we'll never put ourselves in a place where we're actually healing from within. So if you want to heal from within, you address your mobility as well as your fitness as we get older. Put your ego aside. Yes, there will be times where you find it very difficult. Yes, it'll be sometimes a little humiliating perhaps. But in the long run, it's better to be trying and doing and stretching as much as you can and holding your breath and then letting a nice big breath out for as much as you can. Then thinking about all the things of, I don't want to embarrass myself and look like that. I hope this jars you and jolts you into finding a system, finding something that will start to help you get your agility, mobility, coordination back. Because there is nothing sure, if you don't address it as early as you possibly can, then at some point it'll be addressed for you. Have it on your terms, and even if you do have an accident later on, you're going to that accident in a much healthier, more mobile place, so your recovery is much faster. There are so many good things to be said for yoga, for mobility, for any of those things. And if the only one that it lets you come to a nice calm place and come to a place where you're putting yourself first, then that's worth it. Let me know in the comments what you found as your best thing. I've found 10 minutes of yoga and functional fitness. That's helped me the most. But let me know what's your benefit, what drives you to do, and what things it's helped you outside. Like the big benefit I found was during yoga, it let me help calm my mind, let me help myself being present, and let me just be calmer about the world around me. But there's lots of other benefits. Let me know what yours are. Take care. Remember to be kind. The most important person to be kind to is yourself. Leave me a comment, hopefully a thumbs up. See you on the next video. Doing yoga, making sure as you get older, you really address these things that help us keep us mobile, help us far out.